Let's take a look at the Selkirk LUXX Infinigrit. Continuing on the success of the LUXX Control from Selkirk, we have an updated model to the lineup, the LUXX Infinigrit. So we know Selkirk likes to push the extreme boundaries of power and control with certain paddles. The LUXX Control was a demonstration of that. So they made this paddle the thickest in the lineup. They put every control quality into these paddles. With this latest release, we have maintained the same level of control as we previously experienced, but increased the amount of power. There are 4 key differences and updates to this LUXX Infinigrit from the previous model. The first, in the title, the Infinigrit Grit surface. So this surface is intended to add more spin, more bite to the ball, and the other side is supposed to be 3 times more durable than a raw carbon surface. This surface we first saw in the Project 007 line. So this was a power-oriented paddle, the Project 007, but it had that Infinigrit, kind of a new surface technology included. And now we've seen that takedown into the LUXX Infinigrit. The second update will be the thickness of this paddle. So coming from a 20mm previous edition, this one will include a 19mm core. So a little bit more thin, so it'll add a little more pop to it, but 19mm is still on the extreme end of thickness, so you maintain about the same level of control. The third update is going to come to that throat cutout. So they've gone away from that smile rounded shape in the throat to the wingtip design. We first saw this design with the Project 007, so they are applying what worked in previous models and throwing it into the updates of this edition of the Control Infinigrit. We know that wingtip should add a little more hand speed to your game. It'll be more aerodynamic and cut through the air quicker. The fourth update comes to the throat and handle of this paddle that will now include an EVA foam injection. So this foam is intended to stabilize the paddle. It decreases the vibration. It'll increase the stability. It'll add to the dwell time of the surface and expand that sweet spot. Selkirk claims that all of the changes they've made do not bring down the control, but they will increase the power. So if you are familiar with using the previous Control Air models, you may have noticed there is not a lot of punch behind the paddles, but there is a ton of control. So precision was the key. These paddles are oriented for players who like to dink and reset, not players who like to play singles, drive from the baseline, or put away balls with the punch of a heavy paddle. Overall, the LUXX Infinigrit is still for that control player. So the whole idea is not to decrease the control, but rather to maintain the same level of control we are used to, but increase the level of power. So as Selkirk does with extremes, they say we may have swung the pendulum too far in the control direction that we can add power without sacrificing control. So a control player's best friend will be this LUXX Infinigrit paddle. To shop this paddle and more, check us out at pickleballwarehouse.com.